Renewed fighting between rival troops in South Sudan's capital. Thousands, once again, fleeing for safety. This is not the liberated country people had hoped for. Fighting broke out in Juba on Friday between government forces and those loyal to the newly returned Vice President, Riek Machar. The violence spread across the city, with hundreds of people reportedly killed. All this beginning one day before the world's newest country marked its 5-year anniversary. But with a fragile peace deal, widespread poverty, a deepening hunger crisis, and a failing economy, 5 years on from independence, there is little to celebrate. So how did South Sudan, a state so full of promise, go so wrong? July 2011. After more than 20 years of guerrilla warfare, South Sudan finally gained independence.
We dream of South Sudan where children go to school without fear of air bombardments.
But just 2 years later, the country descended into civil war after President Salva Kiir sacked his cabinet and accused Riek Machar of planning a coup. The war was broadly fought between the country's biggest ethnic groups, the Dinka, led by Kiir, and the Nuer rebels, backing Machar. Juba also accused Sudan of backing rebels to destabilise its new southern neighbour. Tens of thousands were reportedly killed and more than 2.2 million displaced. Several peace deals were signed and breached. Then in August last year, with the threat of UN sanctions, a ceasefire was agreed. And in April, Machar returned to South Sudan as first vice president in a new unity government led by Kiir. But it has been a fragile peace, with the tension and distrust among once warring troops still dangerously high.
Yet again, the leaders of South Sudan have failed their people. Rarely has a country squandered so much promise so quickly.
The United Nations has condemned the violence and called for an immediate arms embargo, as it fears the country could return to civil war. South Sudan is on the brink. As well as political instability, its economic outlook is dire. Soaring inflation and plunging oil prices have increased poverty and vulnerability. It's estimated 2.8 million people, nearly a quarter of the population, are in need of urgent food aid. Will South Sudan be able to return to its delicate path to peace, or will we see it slip back into civil war? Yvette McCullough, the Newsmakers.